PewDiePie, please don't sue me. Alright guys, so basically what we have going on today, once again, this is not what I was, the video that I was planning on releasing, but something came up and I just wanted to address it really quickly. For those of you who don't know, I am a big fan of Dylan McKnight, who is a YouTuber, a teenage YouTuber. Actually, I think he just turned 20 years old, but a video came out about him today and he posted about it on his Instagram story. Just basically somebody on YouTube sort of not necessarily calling him out, but making the assumption that he used anabolic steroids to achieve his 1 year natural transformation and that he was actually on something. The guy's name is the Anabolic Coach, and the name of the video is Dylan McKnight 1 year transformation, natty or not, question mark. And pretty much, I just wanted to make a super quick response, try to keep it minimalistic, try not to edit it at all, but just run through the facts. So basically, he talks about how at the very beginning when he first saw Dylan's transformation, he thought, oh yeah, this is probably natural, but as soon as he watched the video and heard about Dylan's his body stats before and after his transformation, he plugged it into basically a lean muscle mass calculator, which is pretty much the right thing to do. And he found out that in order to go from 125 pounds to 185 pounds, which Dylan did, you would be gaining somewhere around, also taking into consideration that he was probably around 12% body fat when he first started and somewhere around 20% body fat at the very end. So basically, he comes to the conclusion that Dylan was somehow able to put on 23 pounds of lean body mass, plus just quite a bit of fat mass as well, so you can't see just his full physique underneath his layer of fat. But I just wanted to address this because 23 pounds of lean muscle mass is definitely not possible. I totally agree with pretty much everything that he said in his video, but I think that he just forgot to take into account a couple of crucial factors that play a role. And basically those main factors would be, the first thing, I was texting Dylan McKnight and I asked him if he grew at all from the age, I asked him if he grew at all during his transformation period over the time that he had filmed that, and he said, yes, I grew about 2 inches. So that means that he grew from 5'9" to 5'11" in that video pretty much. And if you know anything about growing, it's obvious that when you're growing, your body is going through so many different changes, and obviously growing taller is going to add a lot of weight to your frame. So the first thing that I just wanted to address is that he probably grew around 2 inches during this transformation. So 2 inches is the equivalent of, on average, around 10 pounds of just overall body mass. So that includes fat, muscle, tissue, bone, you know, everything is growing pretty much, or so many different things are growing and so many things play a part in that number. But I also think that when Dylan McKnight started at 125 pounds, I think that he was probably a little bit closer to the 9% body fat range. Just simply from looking at a couple of his pictures, I assume that he's taking 125 pounds being his leanest, absolute skinniest moment, and then 185 being his bulked, absolute heaviest moment. So that is something else to consider. So once again, I did a little bit of the math here, and I found out that if he's 5'9", weighing 125 pounds, that gives him about 111 pounds of lean muscle mass. So that means around 11.25 pounds of fat. And so keep in mind that is at 9% body fat. Then at 185 pounds, 5'11", that would calculate out to 139 pounds of lean muscle mass. So he's definitely gained a lot of muscle mass, but I also think that 10 pounds of just overall body mass from growing 2 inches had quite a bit to do with it, as well as his body fat percentage being lower than what the anabolic coach had originally estimated. Okay, so from my final calculations, I have Dylan McKnight at 125 pounds, 5'9", going from 9% body fat all the way to 185 pounds, 5'11", at 20% body fat, which is pretty spot on. I think I might give it a little bit more than that. But instead of 23 pounds of lean body mass, I would actually give him somewhere around the 12 pounds of body mass range, 12 pounds of lean body mass range, simply because if you take into account the 10 pounds from just overall body mass in growing that you gain through growing 2 inches, as well as going from 9% body fat instead of 12% body fat all the way up to 20% body fat. And then, so that's pretty much my estimation, is it's somewhere between like 12 to 13 pounds of muscle gained in 1 year. And one thing that I also just want to throw out there is that Dylan has an awesome physique in that he holds his fat very, very well. His fat is all in a place that makes him look very aesthetic, even though he is at a high body fat percentage. And if you watch any of Greg Dissette's videos, you'll notice with some of them, such as David Lade, there are a couple of people that, even though they look really, really skinny when they start out, they actually sort of have hidden genetics, and they just have good muscle bellies and like overall muscular genetics. And then as soon as they start working out, it really starts to show, even though they were so much of an ectomorph at the very beginning. So that is my final assumption, is that Dylan, I believe that he has great genetics. I believe that he stores fat incredibly, incredibly well. I think that he gained somewhere around 12 pounds of lean muscle mass during that transformation, and that the fat really, the fat that he did add on made him look just even more muscular, which is just an awesome genetic trait to have. And so just according to my calculations, I really think that he put on 12 pounds of lean body mass instead of 23 pounds of body mass, and that's not even accounting for the probable human error side of things when it comes to just like measuring your body weight in the morning versus measuring your body weight at night, versus glycogen versus water versus bloat. Considering all those different factors, just setting those aside, according to what I think he put somewhere around the 12 pounds. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like. Go subscribe to Dylan McKnight's channel and the Anabolic Coach as well, because I did enjoy that he wasn't like attacking Dylan or anything like that, which I seriously appreciated. But there is nothing that I hate more than when somebody accuses us natties of being unnatural. Well, I mean, sometimes it's a compliment, but sometimes it's sometimes I feel like it's just uncalled for. And it's just something that you want to try to avoid when you're trying to give people a realistic expectation of what they can achieve, especially in something like a 1-year transformation video. So once again, drop a like, hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys all in the next video.